she goes on her a video somewhere and says, "Somebody help me! They're blasting me to the fifth dimension somehow, and Queen Elizabeth is there, and she eats people." No, she said the Queen of England is there, and she eats people. And there's lizards there. No, she said demons. Well, some people call them demons. They call themselves demons too. Well, then there's demons there, and they listened to her. Well, nobody listened to her, and they gave her aneurysm there. Well, the thing is, they could have made her die if they wanted to. They just keep the electricity to the clone. They could do it to me like at any time. Um, but I told too many people, and they're all waiting to see if I have an aneurysm now or a heart attack, which it can happen to you. They've done this to so many people. It's remote controlled execution, like assassination, that's undetectable, right? As long as they have a clone of you, they can kill you like a bang. And they killed Bernie Mac this way with an aneurysm. Um, it's not good. Uh, they don't only have to do the electricity. If they keep a constant pain on the clone, like hard enough, like it'll kill you. But intermittent pain will mess up your heart bed. That's what they've done to me. They tortured me there for like a torture spectacle, right? If you look, I should have had it on my miniature tablet here. I forgot to. Um, my Facebook profile picture. Okay, just look at it, and you're gonna say, okay, something weird is happening here. I'm on a Megadeth album cover, all cut up. It's like a picture of a clone of me, all messed up with a skeleton coming out of my chest and Megadeth up at the top. Well, anyway, it's a close up of my face, and people look at that and they say, "Okay, now I got to look into this." And trust me, I'm telling you, the biggest secrets of the
Holy
Illuminati
cow! It
right.
is your face.
Yeah, it is kind of, yeah. Not kind of at all. It is me. I was asking, well, I'll just tell you, Queen Elizabeth got really interested in this magic kid that could make these songs out of thin air. So she had me serenading her because she thinks she's really special. She's pretty insane, by the way, by 5 different ways. She rules this cloning station, basically. Her and Vladimir Putin. Um, all of them are there. Muammar Gaddafi was there. He's not actually dead, by the way. That was a clone of him that died, and all the people around him jostling the camera, the video, the phone video, they were all in on it. He's not dead. That was a clone that they killed. That's why they buried his body in a remote location nobody will ever find because it's a clone, and the cells are different and stuff. I guess like they're grown in 5 months in a big glass tank full of like salty water, and just takes 5 months. And it's no cost at all. It's basically maintenance. They just got to get tissue from you. Now, Britney Spears put in her video. She said a fantasy of hers was to blow up a cloning station so they couldn't make any more hers, right? So for this video called Break the Ice, she made a Japanimation video of her breaking into a cloning station and breaking the clone tubes. And they look just like that, right? And two on two, like one on top of each other. They have warehouses underground with them growing people, right? And oh man, it's very heavy. There's another aspect to this. It's the lizard part. Now, I'll tell you the straight skinny on the lizards, okay? Um, Now I have to tell you about Tila now. Tila first, because, well, she was on my wall, and I was like, "You're going to help me with this," and then she goes on radio. The cloning center's terrible. What you do with the people there, and people don't want to go there, and then after that, everything changed because that night when she went to sleep, won't say Freddy got her, but pretty much the world leaders put the scare of death into her, and a whole bunch of lizards did too, because they know that I want all the lizards dead, and all of the, now I'll just say it flat out, all of the lizard parasited hosts as well. Now I have to put this eloquently because they said that this is the end of the world event. This is the big bomb that could send the world into panic and loss of order, and what the end of the world 2012 and everything is all about. Well, it's about lizards and cloning. And I'll tell you all about it right now. Something has to be done. These people are like over corrupt. I don't know if there's a word for it in the English language. They bring people to the cloning station and enslave them and have the option of allowing them to remember the memory. If they leave you if they leave you memory repressed, it will give you symptoms in real life, and you'll just think that you're sick. You won't know. It depends on what they do to you as a clone. If they're torturing you, you'll get badly sick. You'll get heart damage. Like my heart's messed up, and I'm only 37, just turned 37, and yeah, they strap you to a rack and freaking slice you and everything, and people sit around in a crowd watching you in this big, well, not big. It's not. It's a stadium and it has a hockey boarded ring, but it's smaller than a normal hockey rink. And the celebrities and kings and queens from weird countries are all there, sitting in the stands, watching this weird faces of death scenario thing. Made people sword fight. They made me sword fight there. I got all chopped up as a clone. And the thing is, they can have multiple clones of you, right? Now, they got chips in these clones too, so they turn you into the next clone, like within a matter of like 30 seconds. Like deactivate one clone and go over to this one and click it on. And I've experienced it. It's everything goes black. You don't have dreams anymore. Some of the celebrities make songs. I've made songs for them there about not having dreams anymore, and your dreams are lost and blah blah blah. Your heart this, heart that. Like I made a lot of songs there.
Can I
It's a big
ask,
secret.
Donald, how do you know that you're the real you?
Um, Scars and clones. Well, these duplication clones can't walk around in public without what they call a handler. They they have to be babysat so that they don't bite someone on the face or start a fire in a house, or they're like they they go with the first impulse.
You know what
I
this
don't know.
reminds me of? It reminds me of the episode of Family Guy where Stewie clones himself, but he doesn't do the cloning job right, and he creates what's known as bitch Stewie, who's really retarded kind of thing. Is that sort of what we're talking
Uh,
about here?
it could be they make that cartoon. They make The Simpsons. They make all the movies and stuff. They made the Avatar movie. They own Hollywood, right? So and they get their ideas. They all discuss stuff at the cloning station like all night. It gets pretty boring there because first, once they do the sex, and then they do death stuff to themselves because they can turn. Somehow they have the tech to make the clone not feel any pain at all. They said it's something to do with how a person becomes a quadriplegic. Just the first second before they're quadriplegic, they can't feel any pain, stabbing in the thigh or anything, just like a quadriplegic can. Well, but they can still move around and stuff. They've done it to me. It feels weird. Like they let me stab myself in the forearm and go yick, 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 right up the arm and didn't feel anything, and it's bleeding and stuff. It's pretty gross and all kinds of stuff there. There's nothing to do there though once you do all the stuff and the novelty wears off. But then you're not allowed to leave. If you want to leave, well, they only keep you if you're use for something. Well, good looking for sex or something, or have some kind of talent or something. And if you try to talk, you say, oh, they say people that think they're in the fifth dimension or the astral plane or something. They'll go to the police and say, the world leaders are taking me to the fifth dimension or the astral plane and victimizing me, torturing me, like Chris Benoit as well. They killed him. Well, he killed himself, but the thing was, they were torturing the hell out of him. Like Insane Clown Posse had a song made about him, and I actually did the lyrics for the song. They made me do it because I didn't want to because I liked Chris Benoit. Thing was, they had his wife and his kid there, and they started hurting them too. Well, they're not shapeshifting. The thing is, I'm going to tell you what the shapeshift is, and it's really creepy. And this is the thing that they said that could wipe the world. People panicking with the riots and stuff, because the cloning thing, people cloning people's kids, messing them up in the brain is bad enough. Remotely killing people who they don't like, which might happen to me. You never know. Um, Thing is, the lizards. Okay, lizards been around a long time, like since before ancient Egypt and everything. And the symbol, that eye, the eye of Horus with the squiggly hanging out of it,
Yeah.
that has to do with lizards. It's a lizard symbol. It means two things. It's a pro lizard symbol, and it also means beware, there's lizards here. Okay, there's three different kinds of lizards. I'll tell you all about them. They're called vril. The thing is, I'm not sure if it's one L or two at the end. It's Vril, Vrill or Vril. Germans were into them. They had a club with Vril things. Anyway, there's like a 1 to 1.5 foot tall one. That's the Vril Type 1. Um, it's got scales, red scales. There's a Type 2 that is not parasitic, but it's still vicious, nasty, carnivorous. They're all carnivorous. And there's a Type 3 that's 8 feet tall that has a real long neck and looks like a gray alien, but it comes from deep, deep, deep underground. Like I mean, like below deep base deep. Like they need a methane oxygen mix to breathe, and deep underground they got sulfur pools, I guess, that make this stuff. Anyway, they come up underneath the dome's bases. The government is complicit with them, basically. Now I have to tell you about the parasitic aspect of the lizards and why the Illuminati and the governments use them. Okay, I'm saying this in a nutshell because it's very important. I want to get it all out on your show. Nobody's going to say this for fear of clone torture, remote-controlled death, or death by lizards 1,000 times until you die by a heart attack or something. But I figured I have to tell people because, well, they're getting me there anyway. Like, they eased up lately, asking me not to talk about it anymore, but I'm just going to. Uh, well, the lizards have a thing, okay? They have what's called a proboscis. There's lizards out there today that have a proboscis on their face, okay? These things got it in the middle of their head, okay? And on the top of their head, this is the Vril type 1 and 2. The type 2 have a proboscis sheath that comes out, it sticks out. The type 1s, for instance, it's like a chocolate chip, it looks like, basically the tip of it. Now, at one point in these things' lives, because they have a long lifespan, the lizard species, one point in their life, they can slowly wiggle this thing out, eject it, and it goes into somebody's eyeball, okay, another animal. Now, it wiggles in by the sense of taste. They described this to me so, like, when I was like 18 years old there, and told me about it different times throughout the years of going there. They can bring you there every single night if they want to, and they did bring me there every night. They laughed at me when I said I was going to tell the world about this. They said, nobody's ever going to believe me. You won't put it together in a eloquent way. People will think that technology isn't that advanced yet with cloning because they just clone the sheep, right? No. They've been cloning people a long time this way. Thing is, the lizard, okay, the thing squiggles in through the eye. It does a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and going, pushing outwards. And at the tip of this chocolate chip, it then starts what they call sweating the quill. Now, the spinal cord stuff comes out of the spinal cord, out of the chocolate chip thingy, and it's everything that the lizard is. The lizard's whole body is dead. The little lizard thing is dead, and it can't go back in. Can't get it back in. It's one way. Once it excretes this stuff, sweats this quill thing, the person's debilitated for an unknown amount of time. I don't know how long. But when they come back, they have to have some recovery time. But when they come back, they are not the person anymore. They are then the lizard. Let me put this to you flatly. The old person's consciousness is gone. The body is absolutely, totally dominated, and the lizard is smarter as a human then, and totally controls everything. Over time, it'll develop a rash, it'll lose its hair. Thing is, these things are all over the place, and they mimic human behavior. In fact, one of their names in the past is Mimic. A lot of the people that you hear about in the news that are getting people and chopping them up in the basement and eating them and stuff, frying them up, these are what they call drones. They're parasited hosts of the lizards. They like to make them. The only thing a drone wants to do is make more, have sex, and torture someone. Like, it's a different kind of mentality. It's hard to explain. When they at the cloning station, when they victimize someone, it gives them a powerful feeling, and it's the nerdy way. you know, that nerdy aspect of it. Oh, I got something over someone. But they do that to the extreme.